What's good, everybody? Hello. Welcome into the reaction to the film Hero from 2002. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this movie with me today. Thank you so much for your support. The reason I'm watching this one today is because of a reactor request courtesy of Nestor, who says that this is his very favorite film. Chinese cinema didn't really make much use of CGI until the 2000s, so I hope you can look past the very few non-practical effects here. Enjoy. No big deal, Nestor. I'm sure it'll be fine. Thank you so much for the request. Guys, Hero is a movie that I don't know the story. I don't know who's in it. I have never heard of it before. This is going to be pretty much the case with all foreign films, I must say. So yeah, going in pretty blind. Very excited to check this one out, though. This is officially my first Chinese film, so I'm very excited for that. Nestor, thank you so much again for the request. Let's go ahead and press play. People give up their lives for many reasons. For friendship, for love, for an ideal, and people kill for the same reasons. Before China was one great country, it was divided into 7 warring states.
自幼变为孤儿，也没有名字，人称无名。人若无名，便可专心练剑。我花10年，练成一种独特剑法。
Already digging how like big everything feels.
怎料今日却被我大秦壮士一举击破，从此我王可以高枕无忧了。臣等恭候我王，天降壮士，剑出刺客。
So many people, so many extras. Wow, what a room.
刺客一日不除，我难解甲胄。如今你替寡人除此大害，要何封赏？
为秦杀贼，不求封赏。
大秦治下，必有封赏。
So what's the reward?
有破刺客长空者，赏1000金，封千户侯，上殿20步，与王对饮。
有何本事能破赵国的3大刺客？
大王可知，残剑飞雪为一对情侣。
寡人知道。
大王可曾听说他们3年无话，皆因飞雪与长空曾有一夜之情，使残剑耿耿于怀。
寡人怎么未曾听说呀？
臣想方设法才获此密情，所以分化残剑飞雪，必先取长空。
你的做法，寡人猜到一二。
在狼孟县，陈掌管缉捕盗贼。 6月初5，长空在一家棋馆内现身。
Oh, that's Donnie. Donnie Yen, I think his name is. Wow, he's so young. Also, these subtitles are going by so fast. I'm not used to this. Just shows how efficient the Chinese language is. Or, well, I don't know if it's Cantonese or Mandarin. You guys can let me know. But very few syllables. This is making me appreciate his acting in Rogue One even more now that I see like young him doing this. Older him still got it. Damn. I love his long hair too.
小小亭长有何贵干？
此地归我辖管，你乃大王通缉的要犯，我当拿你归案。
I love how loud these sound effects are. Oof. That was close. That's really close. Fun. I don't know this actor, I don't think. I don't recognize him. Donnie has a recognizable face. I love the sound of the clanking. I love that it's raining too. It's just adding texture to the scene. Love that we get it's not quite black and white, I don't think. It's like almost complete desaturation. Some big Dutch angles right there. All right. My understanding is this is just what they're imagining, right? Hence the color grading change. And we keep flipping back to them with their eyes closed. Oh no! Too cute, guys. Oh, this is fun. The CGI isn't even that bad, really. I feel like you can tell they were inspired by The Matrix, though.
3年前，双剑联手攻入宫中，3000铁甲，竟不能打。
3000。
传说他由书法中悟出一套剑法，威力无比。臣对此颇有顾虑，所以臣想先看残剑的书法。
求何字？
剑。
柯人是爱剑之人，
在下只是完成先父的遗愿。
What a beautiful way to practice using sand.
主人向小姐借朱砂，不知小姐听清了没有？主人向小姐借朱砂。
哦，
臣求的剑字还没有写成，大王公召的军队此时已到行城城外。
Love the music.
大王军队之所以百战百胜，除能征善战外，便在于攻强剑快。
This is huge. Man. This is fun.
可以破我们的城，灭我们的国，忘不了赵国的字。
Wow.
那些赵人当真不动？
赵国书法刚烈过人，
No kidding.
大王不是只灭6国吗？
6国算什么？寡人要率大秦的铁骑，打下一个大大的疆土。
That guy kind of looks like a Chinese Hiroyuki Sanada. They've got similar faces. Hang on. Oh, this is the guy from Shang-Chi. I didn't recognize. Yeah, it is him. Okay. I didn't recognize him in those first scenes we got because facial hair. Facial hair and the angle of the camera wasn't enough for me to realize. That was very beautiful.
你不为求字而来，你是谁？
在下特地送一件东西，请先生过目。子夜藏书阁。
At midnight.
长空说，他此生纵横江湖，无牵无挂，唯有一人长留心中。
谁？
飞雪。长空说，飞雪定会替他报仇。若要同在下一战，明日秦军大营。
Oh. See, I couldn't get a read on him. Oh. Yeah, I couldn't get a read on him. I She kept smiling and he just looked grumpy or like his mind was somewhere else.
你走。走吧。
Aw. Poor girl.
我知道你看见了，我故意让你看见的。
Yeah, that was pretty obvious, I feel. Damn. All right. Beautiful. Super pretty.
我要杀了你，为主人报仇！
Okay. 2 women, let's go. I wonder if she's got flying in her name. Because, yeah, she's so graceful with it. Oh. Oh my gosh, these sound effects are so loud. Well, just the whooshing at least. The whooshing of the leaves. Yeah, it's like she's controlling them. It's fun. I won't lie, this movie kind of feels like a live action anime.
我笑你昨晚做了蠢事。
The leaves are falling as if it's like literally raining leaves. Oh.
飞雪与陈决战时，因陈的计谋已然奏效，所以他泣血攻心。
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good plan.
想不到残剑飞雪竟如此怪异，也会被情所困。
Yeah, you definitely we played with their emotions to defeat them. Well, defeat Broken Sword anyway.
寡人听来，此战你赢在二人不和上。
Hmm.
是，
之所以不和，二人
It's just a lover's quarrel. That's all it was. A little love triangle.
故事倒也合情合理。可寡人看来，你把一个人想简单。
Oh.
谁？
我
Oh.
3年前，寡人曾与他们有过一战。在寡人看来，这二人光明磊落，气度不凡，绝非小人之辈。所以，一夜之情是假，反目成仇是假，你所讲故事更是假。
I mean, people can change in a few years.
长空败给你只有一个理由，故意求败。
So was Sky... Okay, him, okay.
未必能胜得了长空，但长空却自愿倒在你的剑下，如此胸怀令人。寡人以为残剑飞雪虽与长空素昧平生，但立即明白了长空故意求败的理由。
Oh, was this the midnight meeting? The library? I just realized we hadn't seen that. Thank you for your time.
两位请自行决定。明晨秦军大营。
What a mess. So windy. Once again, like certain effects so much louder than everything else.
为此情，我死而无憾，请动手吧。
Don't say that too loudly to those of watching. I wonder what they're saying when they chant. That's not being translated for me. Wow, great shot. It's gorgeous. I dig this. Oh.
主人给你此剑，助你一同刺秦。
Okay, so I feel like everything we just saw was what actually happened earlier, the like lover's quarrel part. That was just a visual representation of what he was telling the king happened. But then he called out his lie, so now we're like, we just saw what actually went down.
能把生命托付给你，
Okay,
人生
yeah.
知己
Okay.
也莫过于此了。所以你才是最。
Makes sense. But he seems to have him figured out, so
大王何以识破？
寡人面前的烛火感到了你的杀气。
oh, okay.
秦人不会刺我，你到底是谁？
臣实为赵人，臣家人被秦军所杀， 又流落在秦，被秦人收养。10年前知道身世，便决心行刺。
寡人明白了，
He's like, okay, that's fair. I get it.
你的杀气在乱。
大王也把一个人想简单了。
谁？
残剑。
Yeah, we didn't see him die technically, right? Oh. That, yeah. It's impressive.
在下所练快剑，10步之内绝无偏差。若从膈腧穴入，布囊穴出，便能不伤脏器，令人伤而不死。
Oh, so none of them are dead.
长空现在如何？
现已无妨。
难得他对你的剑法如此信任。
秦王防范严密，无法接近，只能如此。
Okay.
其实3年前，秦王就该死了。
何以失手？
是我放弃了。
秦王不能杀。残剑这样讲，
Must not be killed.
有我在，便要阻止你刺秦。
我愿助你，
Oh.
这次一定要成功。明早秦军大营见。
Poor Moon, man. She's so yeah. She like really cares deeply for him, but she's just, you know, behind everyone else. She's a good fighter herself, though. There's also a movie where I feel like stunt doubles just were not a thing. I mean, maybe they were, but it seems like all these actors are doing all of this themselves, which is awesome.
突然住手！你不是他对手，住手吧。
Yeah, she's good, but she's not on his level. This is the 3rd time we've seen this man get stabbed.
这样你就不能拦我了。
就算伤我，我还会阻拦。
那我会杀了你。我怕把他伤得太重了。
有小姐的创伤药，1日后应无大碍。
A day? That's fine.
如刺秦成功，大红旗回来；失败了，黄旗。
小姐此战若有不幸，报信何用？
那我在天之灵，见红旗也会含笑。
Aw.
飞雪如何？
正在养息，我是背着他而来，
你曾说过，有你在便会阻挡。
请你放弃刺秦。
你可知我是赵人？
我也是。
Oh.
飞雪是赵国大将赵振之女。秦赵之战中，赵振身亡，传下飞雪剑给他。我知道飞雪立志刺秦，为父报仇，便有心帮他。书法剑术同源同理， 我和飞雪每日习字，想从书法中悟出一套剑法，增进功力。
I love all the green.
等完成刺秦心愿，就带我回他的家。他说，那里没有剑，也没有剑客。
No swords in her home? Peaceful.
3年前，剑法练成，飞雪执意要去刺秦，我便随飞雪一同杀入秦宫。
Damn. She's just chopping through everyone. Oh, they both are. That's so many people, so many guards. Oh my gosh, look at the trail of dead bodies they're leaving behind them. I always wonder how the blades stay sharp. Like, I'm sure they have to sharpen them, but like, I just mean in a long fight. The style of fighting is very like, it's a lot like dancing. Where'd he go? Ooh. Fun. I'm getting major goosebumps right now because of this. Close.
飞雪问我，为何不杀秦王？我告诉他，秦王不
Okay, so it was intentional that he just nicked him and didn't actually
悟出的道理。
kill.
我没有杀秦王，
That was fun.
飞雪从此不再理我，请你放弃。
不，我的剑10年来不敢有一刻倦怠，
你如何才肯听？
除非你杀了我。
Oh dear. It must have been really fun for the Foley team to make this movie. I keep thinking about that every time. These sound effects are so loud and they're so present.
把剑交给无名大侠，我跟飞雪人不离人，剑不离剑。
无名大侠，如月虽身份卑微，也愿为主人一劝。
Girl, you're not just a lowly servant. You,
最跟了主人，
since you were 8?
随主人研习武艺，更懂得做。
Yeah, you're a good fighter.
主人给你写的字，一定有道理。无名大侠，拜托了。
I feel like it's difficult to dissuade someone who has been thinking about this and preparing for it for a whole decade.
参见，给你写了哪2个字？
天下，
Our land.
唯有大王才能停止战乱，一统天下。参见希望我为了天下，放弃刺杀大王。一个人的痛苦，与天下人比，便不再是痛苦。赵国与秦国的仇恨，放到天下，也不再是仇恨。
没想到最了解寡人的，竟是寡人通缉的刺客。与寡人素昧平生，才真正懂得寡人，与寡人心意相通啊。
So what now?
此剑随寡人征战南北也有10年了，寡人能有残剑大侠这样的知己，便是死也足矣。你就为天下决定这一剑吧。
Oh, not me expecting the king to whip around, jump out of the way or whatever.
刺了这一剑，很多人都会死，而大王会活着。
Oh,
死去的人，请大王记着，那最高的境界。
polite enough to move out of the way, but still keeping their weapons faced towards him. Listen, girl, it's what your man wanted. It was for him to not die, so. I'm very curious if the actor for Nameless I've ever seen in anything before. Wow, I love that.
你害了无名，害了长空，害了赵国，八戒。
Do you want to kill him? Fourth time.
你为什么不挡我的剑？
这样你就信了。
Oh, this landscape's crazy. I haven't talked about it yet, but curious to know where this is. Damn, dude. I feel like it must be really difficult to act dead when you're sitting upright like that. Please say no. I don't want Nameless to die. Does he though? Much time it took to place all of these. Executed as an assassin, but buried as a hero. The king went on to conquer all of the 6 kingdoms and unite the country. As China's first emperor, he completed the Great Wall to protect his subjects. This was more than 2,000 years ago. But even now, when the Chinese speak of their country, they call it our land. Cool. That was really good. Jet Li. Oh, that's the main guy? Well, now I feel really dumb. But to be fair, I don't think I've seen a movie with with Jet Li in it, so. Donnie Yen. Yes. I wish we had more of him. Watching him fight was super fun. No. So this is my first Jet Li movie. Although it looks like if I'd continued the Lethal Weapon franchise, then I would have eventually seen him. Also, The Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, if I'd continued with the Mummy movies. Okay, so this is what I wanted to look up. The historical background of the film refers to the Warring States period in ancient China, when China was divided into 7 states in 227 to 221 BC. Is it Qin? Qin? Let me look that up. Qin. Okay. The Qin state was about to unify the other 6 states. Assassins from the 6 states were sent to assassinate the king. One of the most famous incidents was Jin Qi's attempted assassination of the king. Okay, so cool. So like loosely true story. Like obviously not super exact, but like yeah, okay, cool. That was what I was that's what I was mainly curious about. Anyway, that was wonderful. I really enjoyed that. I mentioned at one point that it felt like a live action anime, and I still feel that way. And I think it was just because the sound effects are super loud, which I feel like, no, don't get me wrong, I really have not watched that much anime. Yeah, just like really exaggerated and loud sound effects. And then the flying, of course, like all the jumping around and being in the air a lot, that felt very like anime-like to me. And certain camera angles and such as well were really fun. But yeah, this movie was very colorful. This movie was very creative. This movie was very engaging. And I feel like I was confused initially by the story. Once the king like called out his BS basically and was like, "You're lying, like this did not happen," then I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I feel like at that moment for me things kind of clicked a bit, and I understood what the hell was going on. It was cool to see 2 actors in this that I have seen before. their older versions from newer movies. So to get to see both Tony and Donnie so young was really lovely. And now I can officially say that I have watched a Jet Li movie, so that's fun, although I'm sure I'll get to more eventually down the road. Even the King too. The King was such a fascinating character to me. But yeah, just great landscape shots, huge like scale for a lot of the scenes that we had. The sword fighting was gorgeous, and the calligraphy scenes were really lovely too. And I love how they do calligraphy. I gotta remember the period that we're in, so that would have been like very yes, very long time ago. I'm assuming that there are probably still a lot of people that practice calligraphy like that though, right? In sand. I suppose it is, it's definitely less wasteful than using any kind of like script or paper or whatever. Yeah, just gorgeous movie. The music was so lovely. A lot of really, really good, beautiful songs in this that like really fit the moments, and yeah, just really added so much to the scenes and to the story overall. And I mean, this movie was short. This was like a good 90-minute runtime. Very much enjoyed that a lot. I think it was Tyler, you mentioned that there was a line in this movie that was like translated incorrectly. Definitely let me know which, because for me, nothing stood out as being weird or anything like that. This is one that I'll eventually want to rewatch, because I do feel like a lot of the subtitles at the start of the movie were going by really quickly, and I do feel like I missed some. Because there's some statements in Chinese that when spoken, it's far fewer syllables, so compared to English, so the subtitles were not, there was a lot of subtitles that flashed, it felt like they just flashed on screen and then they were gone. And I'm a fast reader, or at least I like to think I'm a fast reader. So yeah, I might have missed a thing or two in the first bit of the movie, but I do intend to rewatch this one day because that was lovely. I enjoyed that one a lot. So I'm actually curious to see, I want to see what the average rating of this one is. 4 stars. Okay, good. Deserved. Yeah, that was awesome. I especially liked the conversation that the King and Nameless had, where he was talking about like his desire and talking about like the our land part. That was really sweet. And yeah, I don't know. So it's just, this is a good story. This is a good movie. I just really enjoyed it. For my first Chinese film, I feel like I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty of good Chinese movies, but I feel like this is probably a good one to start with. So, Nestor, thank you so much. I'm going to scroll down and look for some Letterboxd reviews right now. 4 stars. This is action as emotionality. The movements are intuitive. The sword an extension of our anger and love. The world is often shaped by violence, but we don't have to be. I love that. And yes, that just made me realize I forgot to even talk about like how often the topic of like swordplay and calligraphy being one and the same essentially like came up, and how, yeah, they're basically identical. So it's almost like they were suggesting if you want to be better with your sword, then you need to practice with the pen, you know? And I love that. I love the idea of that because, yeah, very precise and fluid movements in calligraphy, and it's a lot of practice. There's so many characters to learn and memorize and write properly. So you could say the same thing with swordplay, right? Or swordplay, sword fighting. Fluid movements, got to be precise, got to be careful. Yeah, so I love it. 4.5 stars. This movie has the same effect on me as The Wizard of Oz and Star Wars. 5 stars if they go back and fix the CGI arrows. Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna have to let me know what, to me at least, it does feel like that particular, like, anything to do with the arrows. It feels like that was the only CGI in here, but maybe there was more. Everything else did feel very practical. Obviously, even if they had to, like, you know, hook people up to things and then remove that digitally. Anyway, looking forward to learning about the making of this movie. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, and I'll do this right now. It felt like there were a number of scenes where the voice recording was done completely separately out of the scene, especially towards the end here when we had Broken Sword and Snow in their like death scene. Like her crying and her speaking in that moment and his like grunting and as he's like passing away, like those sounds that he, like, it felt like it was recorded in a completely it felt like it was recorded in a sound booth like completely separately from the scene. And I know that a lot of movies have done that and do that. And I do feel like it can be very noticeable, but in this movie, I feel like the scenes where that was done was very noticeable because the audio from their voices just sounded like too clean, if that makes sense. You know, like it did, like it definitely doesn't feel like it was recorded in that moment, you know? Anyway, not that it like super bothers me. It's just, it's very noticeable. 4 stars. Sublime minus the pro-regime ending. Gorgeously done, incredibly well acted, and interestingly told. I rarely could predict where this was going at all while watching. While the ending left me wanting something a bit different, it's based in real events, so I can't be too annoyed. A great time nonetheless. That's how I feel. I didn't want Nameless to die. All right, with that, time for you guys to leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Nestor, thank you so much for the reactor request. I really appreciate it. Definitely looking forward to reading your thoughts. And as always, if you're someone that has never seen this before and you're watching for the first time, let me know. And with that, we will catch you in the next movie reaction, whichever one you tune into next. Until then, I wish you a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody.